also called a 3-pounder, also nicknamed a grasshopper because of how easily it can actually be maneuvered on the battlefield. Now it's called a 3-pounder, but why does this weigh 3 pounds? Who thinks this weighs 3 pounds? Why is it called a 3-pounder then? Close. Yep, it fires a 3-pound projectile. Either a 3-pound solid cannonball or a 3-pound charge of musket balls called either canister or grape shot. At long range, you'd be using the solid shot, almost like a big billiards ball, 300 yards, 3 football fields. That's how far that's going. At close range, you'd use that grape shot or canister shot like a giant shotgun when men were coming towards the cannon. It takes a crew of 6 stout men to man the cannon. We have 5 right now. We usually have a gun commander, but I'm going to take charge of gun commander as well. And they all have a specific job. The first man, called the first matros, has the worm. Chris started on the worm. The worm is an iron corkscrew at the end of a ramrod that's used to search the bore of the cannon from the remnants of the last powder charge. That's because in the 18th century, the Americans and the British used linen sacks of gunpowder when they loaded their cannon. So there would actually be burning fabric down at the end of the cannon. We don't want that down there when we're going to put more powder in because it might blow up. So that is the worm and search piece. The next man, the second matros, has the sponge rammer. The sponge is a sheepskin wrapped around the ramrod so it acts as a sponge tipped in a bucket of water, and it will extinguish any embers in the cannon. Now listen. Yes. Sponge beast. Did you hear that pop? That pop means that there's a vacuum inside the cannon because I, as the second gunner, was covering the touch hole at the bottom of the cannon with my thumb. If I wasn't covering the touch hole with my thumb, you would not hear that pop. That means there's no vacuum. That means that there could still be something burning down at the bottom of the cannon. So that means I wasn't doing my job. So if I was caught not doing my job, at the end of the battle, I would be punished. I would be punished by whipping. I would get 10 lashes on my bare back while being tied to the cannon wheels just like this. Whipped 10 times on my bare back, and that was called kissing the gunner's daughter. So remind me to always cover the touch hole while we're loading the cannon. Again, another safety precaution to try to extinguish any embers, anything from the last powder charge before we load the cannon again. The next command would be bring cartridge. Don't bring actually the cartridge, just the 10. So then the powder monkey back at the cartridge pump would take a cartridge and bring it up to the first matros, who should be facing the enemy, with his hand behind his back. Yep. Then he's going to show it to the second matros, make sure it's a good cartridge, and then load it into cannon on load. Now it's right here, but we want it all the way at the bottom because this is a muzzle loading cannon. The next command for the second matros will be to ram the charge. Using the ramrod, he throws the ramrod down to load the cannon. Now why does he do that? Why doesn't he just pack it in like you see in the movies? Well, what if we miss something down there and there's something still burning? And that powder goes down there and he's got a real firm grip on this ramrod, those 2 hands, and he hits the powder goes off, the cannonball, the ramrod, and his arms are going down the field. So that's why he throws the ramrod down, just in case the cannon goes off, he gets to keep his arm. And he wants to do that. So now the cannon is loaded, now it's time to pick it line. He, as the second gunner, might have a brass pick. Brass does not create any sparks on an iron cannon, so I can safely puncture the powder charge to open it up, expose the powder, to introduce a priming quill. Priming quill is just a bird's feather filled with gunpowder, so it has to fuse from outside the cannon to inside the cannon. I'll put that into the touch hole and cover up my hat because I don't want any stray sparks or anything to set off the cannon prematurely. The last commands we'll be getting to the first gunner, who has the linstock, Frankie started on the linstock, that holds, as he explained before, the slow match. It's a linen rope treated with saltpeter so it burns very slowly but very hot, like the end of a cigar or cigarette. That is what's going to fire off the cannon. So on the command of make ready, you'll bring it up to the middle of the cannon. You stay back right there.
Step back behind the axle.
And then on give fire, brings it down to the fuse, and boom! The cannon goes off. Now we're going to go through a dry run, all the motions, make sure that we're all safe. Bring forth the cartridge. Show and load. Load. Ram the charge. Pick and fry. Ready? Get in, fire. Boom. Now when you hear make ready, that's the time to cover your ears. You don't have to do it right now, but cover your ears. Do not put your fingers in your ears. Cover your ears, open your mouth, because there will be a sonic boom coming out of this cannon. Okay, live fire.
Can be louder if we had a projectile with it. It's just, it goes kind of.
Take care.
It's like you're on an airplane.
Punch piece.
One.
Bring forth the cartridge. Show load. Ram the charge. Take and run. Ready? Cover your ears. Give fire! Busy! Starts piece.
Yeah, you felt it right here, the bottom of your heart. Yeah. Now imagine being on the other end
Sponge
of it,
piece.
flying at you.
Sponge piece.
You wouldn't have to imagine much longer. You know what I mean?
One more time.
Yeah, that's a one and done deal.
Yeah. When it
Bring
bangs
forth the
into
cartridge.
your leg, that's when you have to think about it.
Show and load. Look.
Yeah.
Ram the charge. Take and prime. Make ready. Cover your ears. Give up. Jose. Starts piece.
That one was a lot easier to deal with, right? You got used to it. You had it happen once. If you're an artillerist, then you would hear it actually.
Sponge piece.
They fire cannons, castle still, every day on the clock.
Bring forth the cartridge. Show and load.
Good.
Ram the charge. One more time. Take and prime. Yes, ready. Cover your ears. Give fire. Busy.
The staple of every time we do that.
Sponge piece. You take that out.